Speak Life Radio.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to a new season, new episode of Speak Life Radio right here on Gorilla Cross. Streaming live on the Gorilla Cross Facebook page, Gorilla Cross YouTube page, and the Gorilla Cross app. Make sure you download that Gorilla Cross app because it is free. So you always want to get free stuff, right? Everybody wants something free in this world. I'm your host, Quan59, and we are super excited to be back on a Saturday evening right here, broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. Our new time, our regular weekly time is going to be Tuesdays at 7 p.m. West Coast time. So for everybody that's tuned in right now, this is a special day and time because we have a special guest interview live in the studio. But before we get to him, I'm going to get to my co-host. He's missed it. It's been a long time. Got Joe Sipe in the building. What's good?
What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm back in the the building that has not burned down. I saw that fire out back that you posted earlier in the week.
Bro,
man.
that was pretty crazy. They oops, right there. Those homeless people were trying to like really burn their whole house down, and they did. I mean,
man.
So,
but yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. I'm looking forward to Tuesdays, definitely 100%. But, you know, everything else in Vegas is the same and nothing changing but the weather.
hey. So we will be live Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Not this Tuesday, but starting next week since we're doing the show tonight. We'll be launching it off, doing a lot more promo for it. I know this was kind of last minute that we did. But we had a couple artists submit some songs and videos, so we're going to do probably 3 or 4 reviews tonight as well with our special guest, who is a hip-hop pioneer in Christian hip-hop especially. I'm not sure what Christian hip-hop would be without him involved in the beginning. A lot of people now don't even realize it. You can go to any church and do an event. You can go anywhere and do a Christian hip-hop show, and it's accepted these days, right? You can go anywhere. You can hit up a pastor and say, hey, I want to bring, my show to your church or my event to your church. And it's cool. It's accepted. It's yay.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, that was not the case. And so we're going to talk to him live right now. We have hip hop pioneer Soup the Chemist live in the building. Soup, what is good?
Blessings, man. It's all good. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me up in here once again. When was the last time, brother,
Bro,
we got together?
It was June 27th.
Yes.
2020. So 2 years and 11 months.
Yeah, I had less gray, but
we all did.
All of us, yes.
We all did.
Right. But yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. Glad to talk to all y'all in the internet world. Let's get it going, man. Let's have some good conversation right now.
If you're tuned in live, please share the live video stream with your people, whether it be Facebook, YouTube. Please help spread the word.
To connect.
We'll get Soup on that soon. I actually just DM'd you the link.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, I DM'd you.
Yeah, it's old dudes, homie.
It takes some time.
Bro. There it is.
Much love from New Zealand. We got somebody from New Zealand tuned in right now. Do us a favor, shout where you're from if you're watching in the live stream. Let us know where you're watching from. And this is such a special occasion that I'm missing the Knights game, the Golden Knights game,
Man.
for this. Miami Heat and Celtics are on, so
Man.
But I'm gonna go.
We're gonna catch some of it.
Super.
Though.
I'm gonna go see. So you're looking at me. You're looking at Joe Sykes, but I'm looking at Golden Pipes on National Anthem.
When I see you do like that, then I know.
But you won't know which game I'm talking about.
I won't know which game, man.
How upset were you about that game 4, man?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, which game 4?
So Dallas and Las Vegas are playing.
Oh, you talking about that game 4? Okay.
Yeah. No,
I wasn't upset about that.
Okay.
I was more upset that I didn't go to the game because I love going to Dallas, and tickets were only like $53 for the game, not for the flight. The flight was a little more expensive.
$53, that's it?
That's
yeah,
nothing.
because they were on the brink of getting swept because Vegas was up 3-0.
Yeah.
And so tickets were super cheap. Cheapest ticket for the day in Vegas is $160.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would have been fun to actually go to the game.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about basketball, man. I saw I saw the aftermath of that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
the internet.
No,
You see me looking at him over there like.
let's get that out of the way because I don't know how this happened. Are you from LA? Like born and raised in LA?
Yeah, let's just say I'm from California, man. I was born in New York, but I'm from California.
Okay.
And I was a Laker fan.
Tell us what happened, man. You turned to the dark side. Now
I did turn to the dark side.
Do you just not like good things, so you decided to be a Clipper fan?
Yeah, well, I just like pain. But let me tell you why I even went to that side.
I need to know because we have a song we're going to play later with
Mine started when the Kobe Shaq beef started. And, rest in peace, Kobe. I dug the brother. But I just wasn't with it when he the way he drug Shaq into the whole thing, like saying, "Yo, yeah, I cheated, I did this, but Shaq does it too." From where I'm from,
when he was
that's
getting arrested, you snitching. Yeah, he snitched.
Isn't that snitching?
That is.
So then it was like that on top of the stats player and all this. It was just a lot of kind of knowing people that was in his circle. Because I remember when Kobe first came to L.A., there was spots. You would see him all around Santa Monica when he was young. I remember him going to this place called Savannah West, where I was there with some of the promoters. He was so young, they wouldn't even let him in a club. So I've been seeing Kobe all this time. I saw how he, did his thing, how he came into L.A. and he became L.A.
He became
you know
LA.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
But, the way he just did that, it just, it was like, man, I can't roll with this cat, man. And then I was an Elton Brand fan anyway, so I was like, yo, man.
So you gave up for a bad team.
It was interesting, man. But I've been following the Clippers for a long time. Like because when they left San Diego in '84 and came over, I always been kind of, I roll with the underdogs, homie. So I was always kind of peeping the Clippers out and feeling them. So when that went down, I just said, man, I'm going all the way over there. Now, I had a lot of hope in these dudes, especially it was probably the coldest game that hurt me the most to this day is that game when they was up 3-1 against the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
And they came, and Houston Rockets came all the way back and swept them, man. I couldn't believe that. That was the time I almost switched back over, but where was I gonna go? So yeah, man, that's my story, homie, and I gotta roll with it. I can't be a front runner and just run with the Lakers just because, homie, I'm a Clippers, man. Straight up, homie.
Hey, stick with them.
So, and this dude was going hard, trying to go hard on me online, man, and I ain't even go on him. He was like, he was posted up.
You were going on.
It was funny though. I love it though. I love the competition.
Me and Solo used to go back and forth too.
Yeah.
Because he was a Clipper fan.
Oh, see, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was a Clipper fan, so
That's
me and him
what's
would go back and forth too on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but
man.
you're just a troll, bro.
I'm definitely a troll. I'm definitely a troll.
He loves to. Yeah, he was stirring the pot, man. And I was just rolling, man. Yeah,
man.
But that was fun. But man, that was a heavy. All the series have been great, man. And then the second time we lost 3-1 was to who? Denver Nuggets. So, in the bubble, we got knocked out. So it's just, yeah, man.
It's not doing good, man.
But I've been hurting because my football team was the Raiders till they left. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm an orphan, so I've been going through it for
They're here. You're in Vegas a lot.
I can't. The way they left Oakland, homie, I'm an orphan.
Isn't that Oakland's fault though?
A little bit, but
because we're about to get the A's too out here.
Exactly.
Yep.
Y'all can have the A's, man. They're horrible. Take them. But the way they left Oakland in debt, and if you're in Oakland and you see what them leaving is doing to the communities,
the economy,
it puts a different twist on it.
Plus, the
man.
Warriors went up to San Francisco.
Yep.
So everything.
But at least the Warriors still kind of dump money into Oakland.
Well, because they call themselves Golden State, so they're kind of neutral.
Which is strange. But what are you going to say? San Francisco Warriors can't do that. You got to leave it alone.
It used to be.
But the that area where the Coliseum is, man, and just talking with people that grew up in East Oakland and all that, man, and I mean, you got people who raised their families off of that place.
Yeah.
They're in their late 60s, late 50s, and that's all they know was working there.
Yeah.
So now they don't have no job, man. It's where you gonna go and start over at. So there's a lot of emotion that's there, man. And then some of the bars, like Ricky's was like it was in Hayward, and that was like a famous Raider bar. And gone. I mean, he was pushed. He passed away, but it was so big that when they closed, they were slanging memorabilia there, and people were paying top dollar for that stuff. That's how big that bar for the Raiders used to be. The Raider cats would come up in there just to show support. You know, for during when they weren't playing, and they would hang out in there. So that's that. There's a lot of real history there. So when they left, it's just a sour taste within my mouth. But one of the cats I know out here, they brought him out here 2 years before this stadium was built, and we had a conversation because he was one of the artists for the Raiders, and he told me, he says, "Man, Soup, I understand your beef. I understand it, but from a business standpoint, this stadium ain't even finished, and this dude already made all his money back."
Wow.
So it's like, what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
You know what's funny is I never think about that until like the way you just explained it, because the only thing that Las Vegas the main driving point for bringing the Raiders here, think about how it's going to boost the economy. Like, think about what it's going to do for the city itself.
Correct.
And that's all, it's just me being naive. Like, okay, like it is going to help out. It is going to help out. And the reverse side of that is, look at how much it's going to damage and devastate where that economy is leaving. Yeah. Like, I never thought of it like that. Especially like the little mom and pop spots, like that bar and whatnot.
Oh, there's all kind of stuff. Just all that areas. They can't even pack the hotels anymore.
Man. And SourceVid in the comments said, but they left Los Angeles to go to Oakland, bringing back the LA Raiders. They left Oakland to go to Los Angeles and then back to Oakland.
Yeah,
that's how it really went.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but that's also the city's part is partially a fault for not doing everything to keep them.
Al Davis was a gangster because he left LA and didn't give them their money back. He was a gangster. That little black robe was gangster, man. For real. That dude, I don't even know how he got away with it. Then he turned around and sued the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't even understand that, but he did it. So yeah.
All right, man. Well, we are here live in the studio with Soup the Chemist, hip hop pioneer. You just went to Flavor Fest last year, bro.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that experience, because you've been involved in it a long time, and I know there's been frustration with, just Christian hip hop in general, dealing with maybe not being recognized as much as you definitely deserve to be. In the history of Christian hip hop, a lot of these new cats don't care to dig into the history of it. And I say that, and I introed the show with that. It was hard. It's easy now. Me and him, if we wanted to make a album right now and go tour, we have 50 churches we could hit up in 5 minutes and go. But back in your day, it was difficult. So you went to Flavor Fest. They honored you. You did a lot there. What was that experience like? And just what's your outlook on where Christian hip hop is right now compared to where you came from?
Oof. Well, big up to my man Urban D, man. He's the one that's been putting that down for a long time.
Yep.
And, I actually did it a long time ago, right when he had that little church. I think he could only get like 300 people in there.
I remember watching a video, and there was like 4th Avenue Jones was there.
That's the one I was at. Yeah. So anytime that dude calls, I'm supporting. Just because I love his spirit and his reach and what he's really doing. He's like a real man of God out there, really trying to make changes. So first off, that's what's up. But I kind of went out there with like, all right, man, let me show these cats what's really happening.
All right.
Right?
All right.
So I went out there with a little grudge, man. Like, they gave me this little small slot, and I went, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna murder this small slot. I think I had like 12 minutes, right? And that's what I did, man. I went out there and I went, cause I'm from the era where we didn't just grab the mic and rap. Mm-hmm. We put on a show. And I've kind of, over those times, I've elevated my show from watching people. And this was my first time to really see how well it works. If you notice, and I learned this from watching this cat from the Talking Heads. What's his name? What's the main dude? David. He was the lead dude for the Talking Heads, and he went solo.
I don't remember.
Started doing his thing.
Oh, you're talking about the group. Okay.
The group Talking Heads.
Okay.
Well, anyway, this dude is a crazy performer, man. Byron. I'm sorry for messing your name up, dog, but I went to one of his gigs, and it's always been something that I wanted to try. And when I saw what he did, was amazing to me. He doesn't tell the crowd what to do. He puts out the energy to make the crowd do what they want to do, what they should do.
Right.
And if you notice, you always go to these concerts. They'll say ho. Yeah. They're wearing you out. It's like, nah, man.
And then you get mad when they don't do it.
Yeah, it's like, give me the energy.
Yeah.
And I'll do it automatically. So that's something I implemented into my show. So this was the first big stage for me to see if it really works. I didn't say nothing to the crowd, and I executed all of it, and they were going nuts. So it works, and it was beautiful. But what was really beautiful is all those cats, I was the oldest dude in the building. Even security wasn't as old as me, homie. And I got nothing but respect from a lot of these cats that's running the game, that was there, headlining, whatever. So I was there for them, but it brought some type of joy to me more than I think I brought to them, if that makes sense. It was because I'm the old dude in the building.
Yeah,
I wanted to see if this works, and not one individual didn't come up to me and say, "Yo, man, that was a crazy 10-minute performance, homie."
So was that the change in your mindset right there when you got off stage and you saw people coming up and stuff like that? Because you said you went into it with a grudge.
I went into it with a grudge. Nah, when I got there and I saw all the love I was getting, like, hey, man,
people actually knew who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I chilled out. Like, and I'm a humble dude anyway. Yeah. But I didn't know how they were going to treat me. You know what I'm saying? So I went in there like, yo, I'm trying to murder anything. I'm ready to freestyle battle. What y'all want to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
And once I got there, the love and the respect was pouring. And then they even asked me, hey, Soup, man, why don't you come over here and judge? We got this whole freestyle thing. We would like to put you on the panel. Would you like to just, it was just love. So I killed all that stupid attitude I had of this whole grudge thing. And then that was just confirmation. I'm glad I let all that go, because I think it would have affected me with the way I was coming off, your spirit, when you coming off, you know what I mean? It was just all love. And watching
how long
people
have you
sing
felt that
these
way,
songs and just, I did Holy Ghost in the house, man.
Yeah.
I was putting a mic in the crowd.
That's
and they're
dope,
singing
dude.
it. I'm just like, okay.
How long had you felt that way before you actually went? Was it something that just kind of sparked before you?
I've
or
been
has it
having a grudge
been a
for
while?
a minute, man. And the reason I've had this grudge is because of the way these cats treat me.
Mm-hmm.
I've even expressed it lyrically, but in a very hidden way.
Yeah.
And what I said in the lyric was, I see you liking my stuff. You're peeping me out, but you won't share it. You won't comment to nobody about it. You only like it in my DM. That's it. And some of these dudes, they're so on top. All they got to do is share. And I'm not going to call them out, but if they're watching this, they know exactly who they are. They'll look at my stuff. I'll even ask them, hey, can you share it? And then no response. But here, the part that hurts is I share everything I see them doing. If it touches me, I share it.
So there.
Just name 2 names.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, man.
So, oh my gosh, okay. So there's a lot that you said, and I hate using this term, but there's a lot that I want to unpack because there's a couple of things I want to say to everything that you just said. The first thing is how you stopped yourself from saying, you wanted that edification or you needed the edification. There's nothing wrong with needing that or wanting that, especially as an artist. And the fact that, generations are weird. You have past, present, and future. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, you're definitely part of the foundation and past. How do you stay relevant in the present for the future? Because anybody that you influence, like anybody that might have been signed to like your old label B-side or anything like that, if those people are pushing new artists up, that is you giving to the new generation. So all the new generation, whether you want to believe it or not, you've impacted them. So that's part of you. So like, yes, you do need the edification. Quan will know, we say this a lot of the times on the radio show. Part of being hip hop is show and prove. It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. That's been from the gate, right?
Yeah.
So you going in there with a chip on your shoulder, that's the epitome of hip hop, in my opinion. And if anybody wants to like, hey, see me in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Because we can be a Christian and still we show and prove.
Yeah.
So again, like I'm in agreement with that, even though, how you were saying, I want to make sure, my spirit was right because I want to be able to give it off correctly.
Yes.
That is the spirit and the essence of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
It is, yes.
And somebody as talented as the rest of the crew, anybody that was out there, even Urban D. Like I remember when Urban D was doing like a bunch of stuff with like SOI and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that whole idea is show and prove. Like that's where everybody came from. And the fact that you were, there's people nowadays where we have to be our own promoters, whereas like back in the day, we needed a team, a promotion team. Here's a sticker, here's a flyer, yada, yada, yada. Like the time has changed. So that is something that today's generation, and I hate sounding like the old guy again, today's generation just doesn't understand the chip on the shoulder that you had going into it, because they don't know where you came from and how, like, struggle. Hey, correct. Word of mouth. How you said, anybody that you see, like, I'll share it, da 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 da. The question that I have is, based off of what you just said, is how different do you think the platform is from how it used to be to like now? How you're saying, like, if I see something, I share it, or I get likes and follows, and like that's the promotion, as opposed to how it used to be back in the day. Because back in the day, you slang tapes. You feel me?
Yes.
And now you check this link. Check this link.
Yep.
Yes.
I got 11,000 followers, so every 11,000 person is going to see this link, and that's my promotion.
Yes.
And it's not like that today. So, one, chip on the shoulder, okay, I back you 100%.
Yeah.
Two, how do you feel about that? After Flavor Fest, you said people gave you love.
Yeah.
You should know that you're gonna get it. Like, you should just know that with as talented you are, and if you're being humble, be humble. I'm gonna tell you, you're dope. Quan knows you're dope. I know you're dope. So with that being said, how do you feel about the whole platform and its difference from where you used to be, like analog to digital?
I embrace it and I hate it at the same time.
Thank you.
And coming from, and I
I think we all feel that way.
Yes.
I can give it the analogy because I was a DJ before an MC.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use this analogy. It's a perfect, and it's the same thing. As a DJ, you know, you would get your vinyl, your whole flow was, your whole talent was having. First, there was no BPMs. You had to know how to
Count
mix,
your records,
what to mix with, what went with what. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't learn how to learn the pitches and all that. But another big thing was you had original tracks, like stuff that people didn't have. And it would, and that's what made you hot, right? So we went to as far as marking out,
Covered the
labels,
Yep.
so you know.
Hey,
and cats is coming up to your junk. So now you got Shazam, you got all this stuff that could tell everybody got the same libraries. You dig what I'm saying? So, so basically, Serato and technology. In saying that, it's safe to say that it's dumbed down the art, correct?
Correct.
But at the same time, though, and this is the love and hate, I ain't got to carry no more records.
Yeah.
I don't have to bring all this stuff.
Yeah.
My back is all right. When you leave the party, I can leave the party. Versus I had to be loading on. I had to have somebody
Another
with
45
me.
minutes of loading up equipment.
And I can get unlimited music instead of trying to figure out what am I going to play for this crowd. All my crates is there. It was designed by DJs. So when they say the crates, it's actually like our record crates would be. That's the way you put it together.
BPM,
Yes,
95 BPM.
So
Yeah.
I love it, but at the same time, it dumbed down the art. And when it comes to the music, it's the same thing.
Especially beat making. Now you're just dragging and dropping.
It's dragging and dropping. When it, like you just said, all back where we had to promote, like to do this show right here, we would have had to been a month in advance. Somebody out, where he shot it to me like a couple of days ago. Boom, you know what I'm saying? That's it. And if you shoot it out too early, you lose everybody because there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, you gotta
promote a couple days ahead of time. Back in the day, you had to have at least a month to promote something.
But the internet right now is so off the chain that even if you do a couple of days,
Gets lost in the mix.
it gets lost in the mix. So it's just it's weird. You just kind of gotta learn your lane and try to work with it. You dig what I'm saying?
That is something to, like, you could put that on a shirt. Learn your lane and work with it, because
homie,
some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't. Like,
and that's what brings the frustration. Me learning my lane. But the more I learn, the more I'm satisfied with myself. But I hate the fact that cats are so selfish, man. It's still this whole, nah, man, I can't share this dude, or he's not part of my clique, so I'm not sharing him.
that's never changed. Yeah.
That's the part I don't get, man, because I'm like, why wouldn't you want to? I'm sharing everything you do. Why can't you just...
Now, real quick, are these people you know?
People I know.
Personal level.
People I know on personal levels.
See,
people who respect, they respect my music. And so it's everything. It's people I know, I've worked with.
A lot of people
You know
are trying to be so strategic with their social media platform that it affects real life relationships. Because I've had people do the same thing that are super cool with me. Like, we can sit on the couch and watch a game, but when it comes to sharing something that I've created, or a show, or a podcast, we don't know you, because I'm up here as an artist with 55,000 organic followers, and you only have 3,000.
Correct.
Yep.
And so they look at that. If your following was up, they'd be able to share you. And I think that's very disingenuous, first of all.
It's very disingenuous.
Whack,
you should want to help me out
exactly
to get to your level, right? Actually, that's going to add to you. If you really think about it, it adds to you.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate, though, I do feel like sometimes, especially with in the world, and again, this shows how far we've come with technology in the world of, likes and followers. The argument can be made sometime. You're just using. I'm just going to use an example. I'm using Gorilla Cross platform to further my own gains. Now,
which is good. You should be able to.
To me, that's like biting fame. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's a genuine, that's the point. Like, Gorilla Cross, and again, I'm just using, hypothetical. Gorilla Cross is here. I should be able to be like, hey, check and support my homie. And in doing so, all of Gorilla Cross's 55,000 or however many fans or followers it has. Well, who's this guy supporting Gorilla Cross? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the argument is it's not real followers.
Not really.
And if that goes out into the ethos, that can damage you sometimes more than just somebody not liking something.
Yep.
Like, that person,
I think,
they fake follow. They fake
to
follow.
add to that, too, and to what both of you are saying, I think people get emotionally caught up in it, too.
Truth.
Like, I don't really like that, so I'm not going to share it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that, but because speaking on it, there's some stuff these cats are doing. I don't really like it, but that's my friend. Show it. I'm going to share it, I should say. So when I don't get the same love, it starts to bring in this negative energy that I have to check because it can actually affect me.
Yeah.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
And there's a difference between not liking it and just being low quality with it. Like, if it's bad quality, I'm definitely not sharing it. But if it's just something like, I'm not feeling that, but that's my boy.
Yeah.
Then I understand where you're coming from with that. But that is sad that especially if you're asking them to share it and then it's like
asking, man.
Red.
Yeah. But before the ask, yo, all the conversation, and then boom. That part.
When you see them in real life at parties or in green rooms, the shows, it's
man.
a totally different story.
So, that's the frustrating part, but I've always been an individual who I grind. So it doesn't stop me. And it's not really, I even wrote about it, and I called it, the hook is, I don't need you. I wanted you.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need you. I just wanted to be down with you. That's it. So it's like.
Question, piggybacking off of what you just said. You know how you said you hustle, you grind.
Yes.
So, again, like I've known your work from back in the day. On the old projects, like even like SFC times, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like from the projects back in the day, when you would grind those out, like Dust and like Mulligan's, like all of these projects, when you'd grind them on your own, like production, recording, mixing, promotion, like everything was all you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel about that? And it's kind of in the same vein, that difference of, is it easier for you now to produce and create projects today, or how do you feel about the old style or today?
No, it's not. I find it harder, man.
Really?
Because I'm not the same guy, first off.
Right.
I got so much other life going on. And the art has advanced. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just slap something together like you used to. It's got to be artistic. The flows are more complex. The concepts are different. You know what I'm saying? From coming from where I'm at, I mean, I could put out simple stuff, but that's not where I'm at. So it's harder because it's more time consuming as far as trying to study other arts, other styles, make sure I'm not sounding like this dude, that dude. And then and learning this new equipment like we were speaking earlier, there's a lot of stuff out there. Like I have the machine MK3. And when I first got it, I was so happy that I can sample more than 5 seconds. You know what I mean? And I can sample in stereo because on my MPC I had to create a stereo. I would pan stuff left and right and throw it all a little bit off so it would flange and sound stereo. And now it's just these samples are so full, so beautiful, but the hard part is focusing, because now where I had 5,000 kicks, I got 200,000 kicks. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I got 400,000 snares. I got unlimited sampling. So you get lost in trying to create, because you get caught up in where we would back in the day. It was you grab this element and you freak it out. You know what I'm saying? So I found it harder in that aspect.
What's
of
funny
creating,
is I still do that.
Yeah.
Like my buddies, they look at me every day because I work on the MPC 1000, and they're always like, "Oh, what sample pack did you use?" I was like, "No sample pack."
Exactly,
what loops did you use? No loops. Like I chopped that. Like
chopped it
I
up.
can show you the record where I got that kick. Like everything is
like
mine.
I'm
still
still learning sample packs, man. I don't even know. I bought a sample pack and I didn't even know how to export it. Homie, it's sitting there because I don't know how to get it.
Hey, look, they're game changers. I'll tell you that much.
They are, for
they
sure.
are game changers.
Yeah. So to answer your question, that's what has made it harder for me, because it's just so much. I would like the stage I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I've been doing some really amazing writing, and I would like to just get production, just rock to it. But at the same time, I love producing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's where I'm at.
All right, real quick, we're going to jump into something you've actually created recently called Still Dreaming, the video.
Yes, sir.
Intro this video real quick, and then we'll get to the video. And then I see everyone's comments. There's a lot of comments, so we're going to get to questions in a little bit. So, stay locked in with that. If you have questions, you can keep asking the questions, but kind of hold them. We'll have a question session with the comments right now. We have 2 different people from New Zealand in the
That's awesome.
chat right now, too. So that's really dope. Shout out to my man, Terra Firma. All the beats in the background you've been hearing are actually a product of Terra Firma. So
Okay.
shout out to my man Sundance
Big
out
up,
there
big up.
in New Zealand,
Big
all
up,
the way
kid, Sundance.
Sundance, big up.
all the way over there on Sunday.
Yeah, he
Man,
lives
I
in
think it's
right.
a totally different day. Right?
Right.
He lives in the future.
Oh, I mean, but the earth is flat, though, isn't it? No, never mind.
Hey, that's
Okay,
a whole
Kyrie.
can of worms right there, man.
All right, intro this video for us, Soup.
Still dreaming, man. Like we were speaking about earlier, I shot this whole joint with my phone, man. And it's a deep song to me, man, because it's just, especially the last verse, man. So listen to it. Listen to the lyrics. Check out the vibe. See what I'm really talking about in this song, Still Dreaming, man. That's how I'm gonna intro that sucker, man. Straight up.
The truth.
The secret of dreams. 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 The secret of dreams.
Don't give up, cause if you do, that's when it'll come to be. That's what these dreams keep telling me, and I'm believing everything they selling me. Charging it to my identity, trying to pay that down, cause this interest is killing me. Log in and partake in the cookie, it came with 5G. Now I'm getting bombarded with this Facebook memory, reminding me of the wish and how I blew out many candles on birthdays praying for this. But now I'm wishing that this wish would go back to when we used to date. Everything was great as we stood stood in knee-high water in a lake, holding hands, exchanging beautiful mistakes that were supposed to strengthen our faith, but instead gave birth to hate, which grew at a rapid rate. Thoughts of the end came before how to escape. Now like the police, I police every breath I take. Got sting attached, attacking me physically, man, I can't relax. Google Drives activated, playing our time back, so I can try to pinpoint where I messed up at. Yeah, the past got me out here thinking whack like that. Though it may not be fact, it's hitting me in very interesting ways. Like everything's ablaze, but my mind still craves for us to be a team. But you ain't fixing a thing, holding your cup full of
The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams.
still dreaming,
The secret of dreams.
still dreaming.
The secret of dreams.
Instead of speaking on my dreams out loud, I write them down with a pen and meditate upon them until the manifestation begins. That's the best way to get some wins, because individuals will act like they got your back like a spawn, but be praying on your downfall the whole time. Yeah, y'all keep dreaming on that while I live tripping off the fact that I still got friends whose past names in my contacts like they coming back. I guess that's the way I stay attached to your memory. I still post on your social media outlet, wondering if you can see, wondering if you're freer than me. One thing for sure though, death will come to be, but we out here planning for everything else vigorously. Why, I ask myself first while writing this verse. The body is the earth, the soul goes beyond the universe, so I guess to really deal with death, one must understand that first. In my subconscious mind, I rehearse the scene. With eyes closed, my eyelids become the movie screen. Noticing you're the producer, I'm the actor and editor in this thing. On you, God, I lean, asking you to guide me through these.
The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams.
Still dreaming,
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 The secret of dreams.
still dreaming.
The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams. The secret of dreams.
Still dreaming,
The secret of dreams.
still dreaming.
The secret of dreams.
This is Soup the Chemist, live and direct. You're listening to Gorilla Cross Radio.
So bad.
Wow, welcome back to Speak Life Radio right here on Gorilla Cross. That was Still Dreaming, Soup the Chemist. And we have him live in the studio right now, man. That video was sick. And I don't know if you guys caught before we jumped into that video, but he asked, or he said that he shot that video on his phone, which you got a Samsung, so all you iPhone users out there thinking you're great.
Plug, Samsung plug.
But that was shot on a phone, and I'm telling you that video looked better than so many people I've seen shoot with, $2,400 cameras.
Thank you.
But a
Thank
really
you.
dope track right there. And real quick, is that on your Bandcamp? People are
Yes.
asking about it in the comments. So
All that.
I put his Bandcamp in the comments right there, folks. So it's soupthechemist.bandcamp.com, correct?
Correct.
So super dope. I know Joe Cypher wants to say something about it.
I also wanted to say this too. If I'm not mistaken, you said you also edited it on your phone,
on your
correct?
phone.
So
Majority of it, the green
still.
screen part, I had to get somebody to help me with that. But everything else, yeah, it was all on the phone.
So all
Look
I'll
great.
say is this: for all the videos that come in moving
Yeah,
forward in
yeah.
the future, if we are a little bit harder on you because of that, my man's did that whole video on his phone.
Man,
But I think the difference is here's what happens. There's people that create and make stuff and like, I want to do a video, so I'm going to do a video. I'm going to make a song, so I'm going to make a song. I'm going to make a beat, so I'm going to make a beat. You can make something, that doesn't make you an artist. I think when you're an artist and you create, the art and everything comes out in a way,
It translates.
different way,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's exactly what this is. You had something in your head
Yeah.
before you made it, and then you put it out there on video, on paper first to, be able to figure out the idea behind it. But the video is sick.
Thank you, man.
You're going
Thank
into different scenes.
Yeah.
Lyrically, I mean, that's something I've always liked about you. Like your voice, you don't sound like you are breathing hard ever.
Ever.
But you're not breathing like in between words. Sometimes it's just like the steady flow is amazing.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
That second verse, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, that second verse was pretty emotional too, because I talked about I still have your name in my contacts. I go to your Facebook page, posting on you, wondering if you're seeing that. That was actually talking to my man QP, rest in peace, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I still got my man solos. I mean, I got cats they're not here, man, and I'm just wondering why. It's so weird. I can't like erase their numbers. It's just, So I wrote about it.
Hey,
And
that's
those
how
are
I am
those
with my
little
dad.
things that the regular listener's not even going to really
Nah, they not
fully catch, that artists put into their music and everything they create. So, man, that's deep.
Thank you,
But
man.
I'm glad we get to actually talk to you about it,
Yeah,
to be able
man.
to get the in-depth of what that song is
Amen.
and what
Yes,
those
sir.
lyrics are.
Yeah, I love that second verse, man.
If you don't mind me asking, how long did it take? Like to start to finish, like, hey, I want to make this video.
And you made the beat too, right?
Yeah, I made the beat.
Like start to finish, because or when you were making the beat and writing the lyrics, did you already have the video in your head? Did it come afterwards?
Actually,
yeah.
I made the beat, and I did a version that was super whack. And I remember sending it to Dax because I wanted him to sing on the chorus. Dax from LPG, Tunnel Rats.
Tunnel Rats, yeah. Sorry.
And I was just like, I had this thing in my mind, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, yo, I need a singer on this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I didn't even sit on it. I just like made that beat and hit him up and sent it to him. And then when I listened to it the next day, like, man, this is horrible. I hope he doesn't hit me back, dog. And he must have thought it was horrible too, because he never hit me back. so I was like, oh, cool. And I scratched the whole joint and then rewrote all that and then did it. And I was like, see, this is it. And then that's when the video came. Once listening to it, I was like, man, I want to change these scenes and how do I change it? Because we're working. The hard part was figuring how to make it on a budget, like, and do what we want to do. So I started running it past the guy that shot it with me, Martinez Media, my man, my buddy, and he just came up. We just freestyled it. We had a plan, like we're gonna go to this park and we're gonna shoot this in the lab coat, and then it is. And then I want to go from this scene to the water on this part of the verse. But how do we get from there and there and make it look cool?
Those transitions.
Yeah,
were
so
dope. Those shake
we just
It did
started
look
playing
dope, yeah.
around, and he was saying, and we were joking around, and I did something like that, and he went, "Hey man, that was cool. Let's try that." And that's how the transitions came. So
That's
it's
dope.
just we're just trying stuff, man, and that's what creativity is all about, right? Just trying stuff, see if it works.
But also recognizing that when you first made the song, it wasn't dope.
Thank you.
Wasn't
And
dope.
having enough, humility and within your own art
Yeah.
to be able to say, no, let's scrap that. Let's not be like DC and Marvel and just put out whatever.
Right.
But sometimes you have to scrap something
Scrap it.
and for it to be what it needs to actually be.
Exactly, man. And thank God I'm a home studio dude, so I could do that. I ain't on no clock, no nothing.
Yep.
I put it, and it was whack, man. I'm like, I hope that dude never leaks that junk.
So your buddy Martinez Media, does he have his own like can we plug him? Does he have like socials or whatever?
Well, the funny part is I made that. He's my roommate, man. I just said his last name is Martinez. So he plays around with cameras, and he actually has a talent, and he wanted to shoot it, and I was like, I know what he's serious. He's gonna get out there and he's gonna work with me, and I see in his eye because he takes trippy shots with his camera, so he has an eye. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he was perfect, and he didn't even know I was gonna do that. It was at the end of the video. I just came up with the thing, Martinez. I thought it looked cool to have. Shot by Martinez Media.
Hey, man,
and he was like, yo,
it
man.
works. I mean, we all thought it.
You're prophesying in my man's life.
So yeah, we
yo.
can give him a plug. So if you're watching, homie, now you need to make a part Martinez Media.
The thing that gets me the most is like it seems to me like you guys were just like, hey, we're gonna do this, and we're doing it. We're learning as we go.
Yes, and that's exactly what it was, man. That was a lot of that. The whole second verse, we shot that in a Japanese garden, and it was dope.
Where was that at?
It's in Oakland.
Okay.
Or Hayward. Yeah, I didn't even know it was there. He's the one with we were listening to the song. He says, because I was telling him I wanted to go somewhere that's real, got all this erotic, like trees and stuff. He goes, you ever been to the Japanese garden? I'm like, nah. What? I didn't even know we had one. Where's that at, homie? He was like, it's right in Hayward. I'm like, what? So we went over there, and they keep it up. It looks like you're in a whole nother country.
It really did. It really did.
Location is just as important as anything else.
But that's also part of the fun of the creative cycle of creating a video is being able to find new locations you had no idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we were just rolling around, man, looking for spots that to shoot at, and then that's what lighting came into, because there was a day we were going to shoot, and the Bay Area, you got like a window, like when the sun comes out, you better grab it, right? Because it's cloudy a lot out there. So we had to there was a couple of days we went out there, we were ready to shoot, and clouds just like, so it was a cool experience, man. So it's just cool watching it and seeing the finished product, knowing what we should have did
behind the scenes.
Just the show. But so it was just cool, man. And just being able to create like that. And it just blows people away when I tell them we did that with the phone.
I was shocked because I've seen people do things with the phone, and a lot of times they pull it off, it looks good, but then a lot of times it's like, no, that's a phone.
That's a phone,
But the creative style you did with it, and everything you did, I would have never guessed that ever, that it was a phone. So you guys definitely did a great job with that.
Thank you, man.
And we talked about it. It's on your Bandcamp page, so make sure you guys download that song. Go to Bandcamp, get that song. I think you can choose how much you.
Oh yeah, man.
You buy the track on Bandcamp.
All my material's been coming out on Bandcamp. That's
so
the way
if you want to support, make sure you go to the Bandcamp and support. Talk about that real quick. You've been dropping everything on Bandcamp. You're not doing the streaming platforms and stuff like that. Talk to us why you're doing it like that, and how that helps as an artist.
Yes, the reason I'm doing the Bandcamp is to how you were talking about. You have a core supportive people.
Yep.
Because I throw it on the stream, is you already know what the stream is about.
Yeah.
The Bandcamp gives you an opportunity to really support me and I make it clear that I'm doing all this out of the trunk. You can give me $1 or you can give me $20, whatever. If you like the art and you want me to keep creating, then go to my Bandcamp page, give me $1, give me $2, whatever, and that gives me a revenue that I'm not getting from streaming. I think you would have to stream
reach
just to even get like 10
It's not even a penny per song.
Right,
that's per stream. That's how bad it is.
So to me, the Bandcamp just made sense for giving people an opportunity to really invest in me.
Okay.
If you like my material,
So-
I do throw it up on the streams, but months later,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
throw
yeah.
it up.
So I didn't even know
Yeah.
about Bandcamp. Like, and it, because I'm so like, I don't know how Spotify works. I don't know how Bandcamp works. I don't even know how, like, if you put something on iTunes, how you get residual from. I don't know how any of that works. So is it kind of like, forgive my ignorance,
Right.
is it kind of like a Patreon for musicians?
Basically,
a
Bandcamp
lot
to
like
me
that,
is
yeah.
the best platform for that because they take a percentage
Uh-huh.
and it's a real you're paying to be in their network,
Mhm.
and then it's up to you to promote, get your people to come there. But it's instead of you having to build this whole thing, it's right there. They take 15%,
And they can pay whatever.
and you can get whatever. You can make it.
If you wanted
whatever.
to buy his album for $50 to
You could do
support,
it,
you
yes.
could do that.
You could do that.
And,
then
and you've posted your older work on there too as
older
well,
work
correct?
on there. Yes, I read.
Really?
Yeah. So it to me, it's for an independent artist, it's probably one of the best platforms out there.
And is it just Soup the Chemist all one at Bandcamp
Straight
or
up.
something?
.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
So
do it.
it's fun, man, and it's a cool
Oh, well,
it's a cool platform, man.
I'll look it up after the show.
Yeah, I know. Peace uses Peace 586
Yeah.
uses that a lot. There he
Yeah.
has it. Uses that a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's
so-
a lot of artists,
Yeah.
man. Like what's them dudes out of Buffalo, New York that blowing up? They use the heck out of it,
Yeah.
man. And their stuff is always sold out. There's a lot of cats, and you can you can do vinyl on there, shirts. You can do these different levels of I guess like level one. Say you give this much money, you're gonna get a T-shirt, this and this with
Yeah,
it.
so it's kind of like
you
Patreon.
can- it's
a lot
just
like
set
that,
up
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really cool. I enjoy it, man. And like I said, financially, what I'm doing on Bandcamp is way better than I would be getting from
100%. Yeah.
from the streaming.
And so, but like all of your work, you still keep all the rights, copyrights, and
Yes,
everything, even though
everything.
you're
just
promoting
paying-
it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
They don't get like
They just
we
get
own this
15%
of just
for
the revenue.
of what revenue.
Okay.
And then they offer, and then there's certain times once a month, I think it's Bandcamp Friday, where they waive all that. So
Really?
people
Yeah,
can buy
yeah.
on that day, and they don't take nothing out of it. So, yeah.
Yep. It's a good deal.
I'm serious. I need that.
Yeah, I'm up here plugging Bandcamp. I hope somebody's listening and give me an interview, man, because they actually have. But yeah, man.
Yeah, make sure you check it out.
Bandcamp
It's
is
right
dope.
there, souptochemist.bandcamp.com. If you guys want any of that, I mean, you see everything's on there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Orgasmic Arrangement album, I remastered that because it was mastered horrible back in what I think it was put that album out 05.
That's early.
Long
That's
time ago,
earlier,
yeah.
mid 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, and it got bootlegged.
Did it?
Oh, heck of bootleg, homie. I was getting. It got probably the biggest spot was in Canada. They bootlegged the
Well,
heck
they
out
love
of it.
bootlegging in Canada.
Yeah, and I got I didn't even understand. I was just getting all these letters from like Japan, Africa, and I'm like, man, I only printed up like 4,000 of these. Where's all these? You know what I'm saying?
Are you
I'm
serious?
getting letters. Yeah, they just put it out because I had got.
Hey, at least it was getting out there, right?
It got
Yeah,
out
free
there.
promotion. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it was just funny. I never was able to get a physical copy of the bootleg stuff, so I don't even know what it looked like. But it was out there deep. Canada was real deep.
did you ever release any of that on vinyl?
No, I was actually gonna see what this one did, and if it was, because that vinyl is still expensive, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to pay for itself. So
I still buy vinyl. I still like. I've had Serato. I have full blown Serato built into my mixer. I haven't opened it up once. I've had it for almost 2 years now. I still play records. Like
yeah, I mean, vinyls. making a super comeback too, man. I mean, like for real, for real.
What's crazy is you see all these. It's kind of like the champion shirts where kids think that they're rocking and they're flexing
something new,
and it's like, oh man, I'm flexing champion. It's like that used
bro,
to be
we
like
used to
$1.69.
wear those all the
man.
time. Yeah,
Come on,
His vinyl was amazing, but it's just funny that the price tag that's on the vinyl now.
$60 for a double.
yeah.
Like you want to go out, buy out these new cats dropping these albums, but that's what's cool about the pledge and stuff that you can make on Bandcamp and all that. And these dudes are selling out because they're offering the vinyl, all that, but it's right there.
I think Plato
Crumb.
Sorry. I think Crumb did the same thing because my brother purchased Black Lung. He got the vinyl on it.
Yeah.
Was that on Bandcamp? Like what you do?
He does. They do
Okay,
a lot
so
on Bandcamp as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into it because I'm again, like I said, I sound real naive, but I didn't know anything about Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's
how
been
it
around
worked.
for a while, but it's definitely way more artist friendly than anything else. I would encourage more artists to go those routes instead of
You just got to
streaming
put in the
services.
work, though.
Yeah,
So-
it's
You
a
have
lot
to
more
put
work.
in the work.
The promotion
You have
is all
everything
you,
is you.
and the marketing is all
Everything.
you. So they just give you a
They don't
platform.
do nothing, homie.
How do you
Yeah.
like that? As opposed to
Well, I mean, they can do something, but you're gonna pay them. So it's just up to you.
so they offer services.
Yeah, they got a pro package where they do this, and I can actually put videos on all that.
Okay.
But it's a monthly charge. They smart with it, homie. They gonna get their money.
How do you like?
But they're still giving, and that's what I like, because like Spotify, different things like that, you really have no option
Nah,
to
this
get
is
paid
it.
off any of
Yeah,
those.
it's
It's
just-
like
it
you
is
get your
what it is.
streaming points.
Well,
That's
See,
it.
now they have these, which is because I've been trying to study how these cats are breaking their stuff on Spotify and all that. And now the new hustle is playlist.
Yeah.
These cats have these mega playlists, charge you to get on their playlist. But when you're on, but that's what Spotify is. You know, they'll type in a certain dude's style or playlist, and a guy, and your song is in that rotation, and they might like you or just might let it roll by. But now they ain't just
It's
grabbing.
kind of like radio. They're finding the artists that, oh, yo, this is dope. It's in this person's playlist.
That's exactly like
That's
radio.
it is.
Are you
Exactly.
serious?
But yeah, but it's
so
just
I don't
kind
know
of
any of
whack
this.
because only reason I say it's whack is because you know, they ain't coming with like a little bit of money.
Right.
They hitting you hard like, yo, this is what it costs
Yeah.
for you to jump on this playlist.
Well, I mean, it's like incentives back,
Yeah.
like, hey, like it's like payola. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so-
Like on the radio, it's the exact same thing.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I always sound like the angry old man who just doesn't like. But I really don't know how Spotify, Bandcamp, any of that stuff. The last platform that I knew of was MySpace, when you could put your music on there.
Yeah.
And now all I know is iTunes. I buy all of my
I don't
songs
really
on iTunes.
know what's really going on with the iTunes, Apple Music. I don't know how that really works.
It's the same thing. I mean,
It's the
Apple
same
Music
thing.
is the same as
Same
Spotify.
setup, okay.
Yeah. Apple Music, I
know
actually
I'm on
use
there,
YouTube
but
Music.
I'm always
Yeah.
majority of my energy goes to Spotify because that's what I see on most
Yeah.
people's phones. Because I'm really shocked about how Spotify is overshadowing Pandora.
I've never used Pandora.
Where Pandora has something.
Pandora was the first to kind of
Yeah,
start
yeah,
that where you put in
and
a
they're-
song and it'll play like a radio.
And isn't
playlist.
Pandora a part of Sirius Radio?
I'm not sure if it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
So
not-
it's just a trip that Spotify is just kind of, in my opinion, from being
Yeah.
in this, it seems like it's just the king. Everybody talks
It
about
is.
Spotify.
Yeah, it definitely is. For podcasting and all that stuff,
that.
but yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk because you said you're not DJing anymore, which you're doing that a lot in recent years, and you weren't making music
Right.
for a long time.
Right.
Last time you were here, I don't even think you were making music
I
because
wasn't
we had
doing
talked
that.
about bringing you out here,
And
and
you were pushing me like, dude, record.
I've been pushing you for a lot of years to do it
yeah.
because you did that have something to do with you kind of being, having that chip on your shoulder with the music, or you just didn't have the love to do it? You had to get a new spark, and what did get you back
It
into
was a
making
couple
the
of
music?
things.
Good
The chip was a part of the pie.
Uh-huh.
But I think the biggest part of the pie was the music it's just not creative.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even when I was DJing, I was not playing none of this new stuff. Nobody's playing this stuff, but yet it's on top.
Yeah.
But nobody, you go and check out a lot of DJs and their playlists. They're playing throwback stuff. Throwback is king. So it's like, so if you're listening to this stuff all the time and it's not really that talented, it kind of stagnates your creativity, because now where do you fall in? You know what I mean? I can't be way over here trying to get over here because they're not on that level. You dig what I'm saying? So it was like, that's what I was fighting against.
Yeah.
But then as time started going on, the real consciousness and stuff like that is starting to come back. It's starting to, I mean, even if we're talking gospel, hip hop, to me, they're way more creative than the mainstream.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, there's a lot of skill over there, a lot of dope concept, a lot of nice production.
Well, you don't cuss, so you have to have a much larger vocabulary.
And their patterns.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's blowing the mainstream away. But, it's still that weird little bubble. But that's what I starting to see.
Yeah.
So that was another part of the pie. But the big part of the pie was I wrote that book. I want to redo the book, and I want to put out an audio book. So the pandemic hit, and the company that I printed with went out of business.
Oh man.
And when I hit up, so I hit up my graphic designers to help me lay out the book. This cat's telling me he can't find none of the files.
Oh man.
And
Come on.
I never hit him up about it. So he never really sent me all the files. He had all my stuff, but it would never played in my mind that I would ever have to contact him, because I planned on always reprinting with this company.
Yeah.
Right.
But once they went out of business, they didn't have my
didn't have
masters.
anything,
They were
man.
gone. And I'm like, yo, I don't have a copy of the book. So now it's like, okay, I got to recreate on from the original draft, recreate it. And in the midst of all that, where everything's moving in slow motion because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, out of sight, out of mind. You're gone for a couple of months. They forget about anything you was doing, and you know what I mean?
A couple of months might as well be 5 years.
So I was like, man, I gotta reinvent myself and make myself relevant again. I just can't put out this next new edition of the book and then all of a sudden drop an audio book because nobody knows what's going on, right? So that's why I started recording. I was like, this is a perfect way to. It's a reason, because you remember me and you were
Kinda
talking about it.
reintroduce
I didn't
yourself.
have a reason
Yeah.
to record. There was no reason to record, so it was like I didn't want to record.
Yeah.
But now that I had a reason, I started creating only to stay relevant with people. So when I do drop this, then right here, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You like this material right there? Here's this audio book, and it's to me the timing is perfect, because all in the midst of all this, audiobooks have shot through the roof. Now everybody's
really have,
into it. You know what I'm saying? And the way you promote and move has shot up. The consciousness and hip hop is shot up. So it's like, okay, it's this time. The time is not. It's not bad. It's actually good.
Yeah.
The time is all this time off, and the time it's just actually a good time for me to do what I'm doing.
That's why I tell artists all the time, you're never retired. You're just taking a break.
Taking a break.
If that's a 10-year break, it's a 10-year break, but you're taking a break.
You're not, and
If it's
I don't feel like it would be a.
Take a 10-year break if you need
it's
to.
just a break, homie.
Just take a decade.
Where you been, man? I'm on break. For how long? 10 years.
Hilarious.
And it's not, I think it would be more, I think the proper term would be a reintroduction, not a reinvention, because, I mean, I feel like how you said everything is throwback, and Quan and I, we've talked about this on the radio show for I don't know how many times, so I'm it's beating the dead horse, but I'm a true school, I'm a mid-school head. That's me. Like, if you get in my car, my playlist is like, I'm still playing the score like it just came out yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I play mid-school joints, right? And I feel like today's culture, they're starting to like the 90s and everything is 90s,
Right.
and it's not a throwback. It's like, hey, this is just, I took that 10-year break.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's more of a reintroduction.
Yeah, and it's and since to piggyback that, since they are liking it, it's starting to come out in their music, which
That's
is
the
bringing us
relevancy.
back.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
relevancy. So
Yep.
we don't have to like, oh, how am I going to stay relevant?
Yeah,
Y'all are making us relevant.
Making
you know
us
what I'm saying? Like
relevant,
everybody wants
I think
to.
they
And
said
you just make music be true to yourself. I mean,
That's it.
don't try to, because I've seen a lot of artists that
Try.
I grew up, loving, and I love you because you're this, and they start conforming to being who the young people want them to be. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want to see someone in their 40s and 50s doing some young trap rap. I really
Right.
don't.
No.
I don't wanna see
I
that.
really don't.
No.
Like it makes you look a little weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
for real though.
It makes you look dumb, dude. Don't say a little weird. It makes you look
I
dumb.
was being nice.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know
I'm
what's a
trying to be
trip
nice.
though, man? I actually want to research this, but a credible cat laid this on me. He said, "Yo, Soup, last year, one of the biggest grossing tours was old school hip hop with I think it was Salt and Pepper and
Oh yeah, they were doing that. They did a lot of
whatever
that out
tour
here.
was. They said that
yeah.
was one of the biggest
Yeah.
grossing tours of the year."
Huh.
And I
Yep.
was like, "What? All the old?" He's like, "Yeah, man. People coming to see that stuff, man."
Yep. And
And-
especially if you go to Europe, if some of these artists are going to Europe,
Yeah.
they're still touring like they did back in the day.
Killing it, man.
And the best way to explain it is this, like, especially in the last 20 years, I'd say last 10 years, best Super Bowl show, halftime show you saw.
Yeah.
Wait,
All
I'm talking about ever, bro.
No, but that's why I said 10
I'm
years.
talking about
I
ever.
said,
That was-
I
that
said
was the
last
best
10
ever.
years.
Yeah.
I said last 10 years because I do like a bunch of different music, but like when, Snoop and Dre came out
Yeah.
and Mary J.,
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh man, this is cool. Isn't that so-and-so's dad? It's like, no, dude, that is Ice Cube. That's
Yeah.
not so-and-so's dad. That's, this is
yeah.
who they really are. Like, you know their children. Like, these are them.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a fine line to walk between them and me. I'm just lazy. I'm honestly lazy. Like, I don't want to learn like the algorithms, the Spotify's, and I don't want to learn them. Like, I'll make something and be like, yo, like all my paintings, like Quan will be like, yo, you need to get
He
paintings.
gets on my nerves with that. He needs to learn some of that. If you're not going to learn if you're not going to learn to get a social media manager to help push that stuff, but
No, I feel what he's saying though, because there's
Yeah.
some cats I know that is putting out some really nice stuff, and
It's just
they're
hand in hand.
intimidated. They don't want to learn because it takes time. It's almost like going to school again. You have
Exactly.
to learn.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then you can't complain about your stuff not moving. So that's where they're at.
That's
and
another
I'm
good soundbite.
telling the cat,
Yeah.
like one of the cats is really frustrated about it because he's from that era with me, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm looking at you. I don't know what you're doing. I don't see none of your material. I don't see nothing. I don't see no work being put in. So why are you complaining? You ain't putting no work
Right.
in. So
How do you feel
just,
about
just do your music there?
Yeah.
In
Do
that
it.
same
If you
vein-
feel it like way,
Oh, my bad.
if you can't handle it, hire somebody.
yeah.
in that same vein, like how do you feel about like the new Grape Tree?
I ain't
Like,
even know.
Oh, let's talk about that.
I ain't even know, dude.
Okay, and we're gonna get a little Rascal on soon in the next week or two.
I ain't even know that
I
cat
will-
was doing something.
So Nolly
Bro.
Williams,
Bro.
first of all, let's talk about it a little bit. There was a
Yeah,
lot
maybe
of
I should try to. Nah.
you're not a Grape Tree artist. I don't want to see you in front
You know
of
what
a
I'm saying?
In front of us.
A tank with a big chain
Yeah.
on it.
But Little Rascal has been posting up a little bit on social media that he was starting new Grape Tree Records. That was going to be the name of the label. New Grape Tree Records.
With the roster.
So Rapzilla puts out about 2 weeks ago a video of Nolly saying that I'm restarting Grape Tree. Little Rascal did not hear that from him. He saw it on Rapzilla. Little Rascal got a little mad. And I love Raz. He's a little bitter in his older age, I think, which he might have that same chip you had. So I'm not mad at him for that.
Right.
But I do see things he posts and stuff like that. He was not having it. I think they finally talked and him and Nolly are cool, but I know there was a lot of, what Raz said is Nolly filed for bankruptcy and didn't pay the artist. That's what the problem was when Grape Tree originally shut down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with that happening, I know artists from Grape Tree for years have hated the way that ended, and Nolly, what I've heard from some of the artists, dipped out and disappeared and didn't pay the artist.
Yep. That's the rumor.
So how can he come with Grape Tree again? Is they changing the name a little bit, or
it's called?
I think they're keeping the name, but I'm not sure after a certain amount of time if
it's the new Grape
when
Tree.
you file for bankruptcy, there's a certain amount of time that I'm not sure
right
the business
legal side
aspect of that,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, that's been almost 20 years
It's
or
been a
more.
minute.
It's been more than
It's
more than 20 years.
World.
That's a trip, man.
He said
Yeah, I
we're
didn't
old.
even know.
But I mean, like that
And that news
idea
just
is
dropped
the
not
same
too long
vein.
ago, yeah.
Like that idea of like the new Drape, because you had, like you said, you got some of your boys are doing stuff. You can't complain, and like how do you feel about if we're trying to how do you stay because Quan said just be true to the music. How do you stay true to yourself, but stay in
Relevant.
the time, like in the lane right now, relevant in the times? Like how do you do that without basically, for lack of better words, selling yourself out?
Because I truly am a lover of the art.
I love it.
If you love the art, then,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna grow. You should never really stay in one place. If
Yeah,
you really love the
100%.
art, because you're gonna constantly looking to get to the next level.
Sorry, I was reading the comment. Sundance said Guava Bush Records.
Guava.
So I guess that's the way to get around the bankruptcy thing.
Wow. That's funny.
Sorry, Quan, I did this because I was trying to see.
No, I feel you. It's,
the
the score.
Boston is up 52-41 in the second quarter.
Yo, Boston's
Man.
been doing it. Yeah.
Boston might do that, but anyways, I don't want to.
that's
We'll talk
crazy,
about that. But yeah, I mean, the love of the art. I think that's a good thing. That, and like I said, man, it's okay. Like even with us with the show, like this is our first show in 5 or 6 months, probably. Sometimes we just don't have it. Like sometimes other priorities or other things in life take priority.
Yeah.
So you have to take a step back, because if you keep pushing, and I know how I am, we're not getting paid to do this. Right. If we're getting paid, it was a job. Of course, we would be here doing it still. But if I'm forcing something, it's not going to come out the same way.
You have to prioritize there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going to come out the same way. And when you take time off, you love it again. And now we're excited to get back in the studio, right?
Right, correct, because it's the love
Yeah.
of the art. And that's exactly what it is, man. That's how I stay relevant.
This is kind of like it's a standard question that I always ask, that we kind of always ask, but it's a legitimate question. With your creativity, because obviously, we're emulating God. God is the ultimate creator. And so anything that we do, there's the cliche, everything I do is unto God, right?
Right.
And I don't want to make it sound like that's like that's a throwaway, because everything that we do should be as unto God.
Right.
With your creative process, like even with like the video or stuff that you're doing, I'm trying to think of the right, where does your faith mesh in with that creative process? Because I feel like sometimes, especially with the current state, like with new school cats, they're more about the creation and the promotion and the marketing, as opposed to my faith is the bedrock. This is just a byproduct.
Right.
Whereas this is the bedrock, and then I'm going to promote God through this. Where does that fall?
Yeah. That's deep and simple at the answer at the same time. It's I'm centered. So God is the center of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And since he is the center of everything, our spirits are gonna bear witness without me having to do all this and do all that. It's just like when you go to work. I'm an electrician by trade, so I'm around all kind of attitudes, beliefs, and all this. There's a certain way you're gonna carry yourself because you're centered in your belief with God. You dig what I'm saying? So then people are gonna notice that, and you're gonna be set apart. That's just the word. You dig what I'm saying? So that's the way I approach it, And that's the reason why you're not going to hear me, Jesus, 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 and all these songs, because he's the center of everything.
So it'll just come out.
I'm living. I'm a living dude. I'm a follower of the Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I believe. So there's certain things I'm going to do that's going to come across, and you're going to be like, for instance, hey, that dude doesn't use any profanity. Or, hey, you know, he doesn't talk about
He's conscious.
smashing chicks over here and all that. You know, something different about him. You know, and he might not be saying God, but he just quoted a scripture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me go see what he was talking about. And then when you crack open your Bible, like, what did he say? A verse, blah, blah, blah. And that's what he meant in that verse. I'm centered. That's the way I do it.
It's good.
Do you feel like in today's climate, again, I play advocate a lot. So like, do you feel like in today's climate, people like that's enough for people to say like, he's talking about Bible stuff, or there's a scripture, I don't even know what that means. That might as well be Chinese, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I look at it like this, man. No matter what you do, I could quote scripture all day long. I can come out with every top pastor behind me, like all my stuff. People are still gonna talk smack.
right.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, just like we said earlier, be true to you.
Be true to you.
Be true to you, and then. If you're
But it's
centered,
still in your music too. Like if you know, you know. Like it's
You know,
obvious
you
to
know.
me. Like even in that song,
Yeah.
like
So,
God's in it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know.
mean, because we're all human up here, man. I could preach to you all day long and give you this whole picture. And then when I go home, it's a total different thing. You would never even know, because
Right.
this is all I painted for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just do you, man. Be real, and people, your spirit will bear witness with other people.
good.
It will, all things come to light. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. I don't worry about what this cat's got to say, because if you ain't liking it, then it wasn't for you. You dig what I'm saying? It's like food. You know what I mean? Not everybody likes sushi, but that don't make sushi bad. Right?
That makes them bad.
Yeah, sushi's great.
Don't like if you don't like sushi.
Just so people know.
But don't get mad at me, because I'm going to the all-you-can-eat sushi spot.
You
That's
know?
it. That's what I'm
Exactly.
talking about.
That's the way I look at it, brother.
So you heard him say that he's an electrician by trade. So just a note for all you rappers out there that think you're doing it full time and you're broke, get a job. It's okay. It's okay
Quit
to
your day
work.
job.
It's okay to work and invest in your own craft.
Yeah, man.
More people need
IBW,
to
man.
realize that. Yeah.
23 years.
23 years.
It's funny because I was like just thinking today, my wife, this is total side note. My wife, I was like, she goes, how come every time when it's cold, you don't want to be in the studio in the garage? And then when it's like hot, you want to be in the studio, but you can't be in there. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was like, she was like, you need to call an electrician to figure out how to get that set up, like because the breaker keeps breaking.
tripping
And so
and
today
all
I was
that.
like, man, I need to call a Sparky. I do. I'm going to talk to somebody at the church. And then literally you just said that. So I'm like, I've got questions after the show. I've got questions.
I can tell you quickly what that problem is.
It's broke.
No. Well, I mean,
He's pulling more power than he has.
Yeah.
yeah. And I've heard people tell me, I'll talk after the show
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we'll just go. I will just keep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys have questions before we go, make sure you put the questions in the chat right now,
Don't
and
be
we will
scared.
ask some of the questions that you guys had asked before. Even if you asked it before, please just paste it in there again. We're looking at YouTube mostly. So if you guys are on Facebook and you have questions, go over to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. I have not seen anything on Facebook.
Yeah, we have a lot on YouTube right now. So go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/GorillaCross, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking about like the donation where you could donate and get the comment up front. We'll be doing that soon, so we're gonna be doing a lot more on the YouTube channel, and pretty much soon exclusively going to YouTube. I'm still putting it on Facebook a little bit to get the people that are on Facebook mostly, but our show is mainly gonna be just on YouTube. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Don't be a jerk and share, and make sure you go to Bandcamp or soupthechemist.bandcamp.com to get all of Soup the Chemist music on there, merch, different things that he's going to be doing to keep up with what he is doing, and follow on all social media at Soup the Chemist, just to stay up
Across
to
the
date.
board, man.
And you've been dropping a lot of knowledge today too, man. So
Thank you, sir.
like you're gonna get that, from social media and stuff like that. Are you doing anything live? I know when you were DJing, you're doing a lot of Twitch live, live events and stuff like that on Twitch. Are you doing anything like that now? Podcasting?
Nah, man, I want to. I just gotta find the time
Yeah,
to really. Got so many little weird things going on.
yeah.
I've been, especially the podcast stuff. I've been getting hit up like crazy.
It's not just weird things. You're a grown man with a job.
Yeah, it got
So
real,
I'm trying
real
not
life.
to do all kind of. If I do it, it's got to be done right. So
Yeah.
I want to do it, but at this time, I just haven't really put it into work. And I actually want to get out there. I plan on getting out there next year, man, and like doing a little. We're still working it out, but I'm talking with some people, man. We probably might be going on the road with a live band, rocking some shows, man.
That'd be dope.
Me and I was actually talking to Chili Chill from the Gospel Gangster.
Okay.
So if we're trying to put it together, and I think it would be pretty dope, man.
Nice. And we actually have a song that we're gonna play in a little bit here. Unreleased
Unreleased,
track, hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
And I got the WAV file. So
Yes, sir.
Soup the Chemist, Chili Chill.
Yeah.
And you
Mr.
have
Solo.
a verse from Mr. Solo.
Solo, man.
Rest in peace,
brother.
from Gospel Gangsters. How'd you guys come about getting that verse?
That's all chill, man. The song was actually done, and he hit me up and said, "Soup, man, we got a unreleased verse,
Wow.
Solo, and I'm gonna throw it in on the last because we were gonna split that last verse."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Let's throw Solo right there, man. Fade it
That's
out."
crazy.
Like, man, heck yeah, dog. That'd just be because one of my first recordings was with the gospel. Well,
Yeah.
Well, their first recordings was with me. Kill the Spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of people don't know that. I really didn't know your affiliation until I read the book.
that was like
I didn't
my
realize
brother,
how
man,
much
my
all
little
you guys
brothers,
were
man.
affiliated back
Yeah.
there, because the music style was so different. So when I'm picking
Yeah.
up the albums at the Christian bookstore and stuff like that, like I'm not thinking anything like Soup the Chemist and Gospel Gangsters even know each other. You know what I'm saying? The music is that different.
Yeah, them dudes was
That's when they were
with me.
original gospel gangsters.
well, they weren't even. I known them before they were even gospel gangsters. They
What
were
was the name of the
Alliance
crew?
Life.
Alliance of Life. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're on this little video thing we had put out, The Adventures of SFC.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see all them cats on there, man. That was in Solo's room. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Man,
Yeah, so we go way back.
Way
man. I
back.
used to take Solo on the road with me. Yep. He used to be on that stage rocking with me. So
It's crazy.
I got goosebumps. Like just because
And that's still an interview I'm still upset that me and him, we talked about it a million times and we just never did it. Cause I was waiting, he was in and out of Vegas a lot too. So
Right.
there was times like, hey, I'm trying to come through and then we wouldn't be able to like set it up on that day. But that's something that always like bothers me. Cause he was,
that was a super talented cat.
Very
man.
talented.
That's what
Dope,
it just
super
hurts.
dope
What
voice.
hurts me the most is that the world didn't really get to see.
yeah.
Because I would have put this dude up against any MC, not
Not
gospel,
anybody.
any MC.
Anybody.
I've been in the studio with him. I see how he works. I see how quick his delivery is, how creative his patterns are, the way he rides beats. It was just, and we gelled, and I was just
Yeah.
always pushing him, man, do your thing, bro. It's just, it's unfortunate the world didn't really get to
Yep.
see the talent.
Yep.
We don't understand a lot of things, so.
so
We don't.
before we hear the song, I got a quick question because
Well, we're
this-
going to get to the questions and then get
Oh,
to
go
the song.
for it. Go
too.
ahead.
No, go
Let's
ahead.
let's hear their questions because I'll just keep talking, man. You hear me? I'm a chatterbox,
It's all
bro.
good, man. Super Mario.
And real quick, can you still get the book anywhere? Are there digital copies?
You can only get the ebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't. All physical copies are sold out.
Okay, cool.
So-
But a lot of people do read ebooks, so is
You
that
get the
on your
ebook.
Bandcamp or is that on Amazon?
That's on Amazon.
Okay.
And
What's the
that
title?
Kindle. Through My Windows: The History Behind Holy Hip Hop.
The history behind Holy Hip Hop. Through My Windows. Make sure you guys, if you want to read the book, a lot of information in that book. I mean, I did learn a lot of It talks about going on tours, talks about vans breaking down. Like this was
followed by a witch.
I mean, all this stuff. And how hard it was to even get into churches to perform. Like we talked about it at the top of the show. A lot of you artists out there that are watching or listening, it's easy to like do shows now.
Yeah.
These guys helped open those doors because it was not easy back then at all. Church was not looking at hip hop in any type of positive way. So make sure you guys go check out that book. I'll put a link in the video description right now. So we're going to get into some of these live questions right now.
Let's get it. Come on.
All right. The journalist asked, even though you're about to do a track, or you ever thought about doing a track with electrician metaphors to bring both worlds together?
Man, I drop those metaphors all the time, homie. Go to my Bandcamp and check out some of my songs. All the time. I go deep, man. Cats don't even catch some of the stuff I say, man. Yeah.
All right, next one. Whatever happened to DJ Dove? You ever talk to him?
Good question, man. Good question. He ain't even on social media or nothing, man.
Wow.
I don't know where that cat is. So anybody out there in the world knows DJ Dove, tell him Sue said what's up. Get at me at Super
I think
Chemist.
that's a mission. I think that's a mission we need to do. We need
where
to
is Dove?
Find DJ Dove.
Find DJ
Let's make
Dove.
that a segment.
Where's the hashtag?
Let's make that a segment.
I haven't seen that dude in years, man. And like I said, he's nowhere on social media, so.
And I mean, he was a pioneer too. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I thought he was a gangster when he was like promoting gospel gangsters.
Yeah, he started off, well, of course, with me, and then we had a Rocky Road, and it was love, but he had to go, and when he went. That's where he went, and got the gospel gangsters rolling.
Yeah,
and he did a good job with it, even though that turned out kind of weird. They needed him when everything happens for a reason. So,
and not everything's meant forever either. Sometimes it's like you're here to help start something.
Dove did it. He did it, man. Dove was an interesting dude, but he got doors open.
I think it's crazy that there's so much history in my walk that you have a direct influence to, because like I can see clearly now, like that album was really like a key piece.
Which album?
I can see clearly now from the Gangsters.
Yeah.
Dust was, I mean, and again, this is me like I'm fanning on you in the sense that when Dust came out, I had never heard like that, like Dust, LPG, like Tunnel Rats, that type of music was the type that made me realize like, oh, we could really just come raw. Like we don't have to be like, Jesus Christ is my Lord. And the Bible says that, like, we can literally just like, it's all about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Even, a bunch of like, Factors of the Seven, like all these classics, like all of those types of joints were like really, really like staples.
To add to that, one of my favorite out of all those was Illumination. That was kind of the beginning of all that. And so Dust was kind of like, but Illumination, man, we were on one with that album.
All
even from the cover, man. Because the cover, it was the way it turned out was, it was just it was an old it was a warehouse where trains used to be. And dude, the photographer was like, yeah, let's go shoot in there, right? So he was like, he saw it was just these windows.
The windows with the S.
Yeah. But he just was busting windows out.
Oh, that was real. That wasn't photoshopped.
No, he busted these windows.
Great.
But look, here's the crazy part. He just busted windows out and then took a picture. And then when he took the picture, we were like, dude, that spells SFC.
Uh-huh.
And he
Wow.
goes, he didn't even bust it out.
So
to
he didn't
spell-
bust them
He
like
just
that.
busted a couple of windows out because it was dark and
That
he needed
is
some light.
wild.
Yeah.
That's-
No.
And here's
it wasn't planned.
It
Oh.
wasn't planned.
You're talking about getting goosebumps.
Oh,
and here's
my
the
gosh.
crazy
That's
part.
weird.
Nobody knew what they just looked at that album and saw windows. Once
No.
you pointed out to them, they're like, "Oh shoot,
Mm.
it says SFC." All of us were tripping out, and the
That's
title of the
wild.
album is Illumination.
That's
Come
bro.
on,
That's
dude.
wild, bro.
Yeah, that album was crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah, none of that was planned.
All right, we got another question. How does it feel to be the last man standing from your era? No more Dynamic Twins, no more JC and the Boys, no more Freedom of Soul, no more PID, no more Idol Kings.
Dynamic Twins. Wow,
Yeah.
that is.
How does it feel?
How does it feel to be, still going after all that, and a lot of these other people are not doing it for whatever
It feels,
reason?
Aging. Like I should be getting discounts in all restaurants
You
and
know?
everything.
It's
That's
like the
how it
AARP of
feels,
Christian
man.
hip-hop.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm thankful, man, because to me personally, it shows that
You are relevant.
my art was true. Because to me, if your art is true, it's timeless. It doesn't matter when I drop it.
Truth.
And a journalist said, "Thanks for being one of the MCs who laid the foundation for us." He's an artist, so and definitely, I mean, even us, like, we wouldn't be doing Christian hip hop radio if it wasn't for you laying the foundation and helping out.
And isn't journalist from Canada?
Yeah, journalists from
Yeah.
Canada, so he probably was one of the ones.
The bootlegs.
The bootleg, or he knew the bootleggers.
The bootleggers,
He
right?
got the bootleg, something.
First
I'm
gospel
playing,
album,
I'm
bootleg
playing.
gospel, nah. Hip hop album, nah.
Hey, journalists, if you have a bootleg copy, though, send it to us so we can give it to Soup.
Hilarious.
We'll
You
make
know
sure
what's
he
so
gets it.
funny about that? Some people bought the remastered, and you know how you can message me on Bandcamp,
Okay, yeah.
and they were like, "All right, man, I bought a real copy this time."
That's dope. That's dope.
So there was cats that
That's great. That's
it was
great.
funny. Huh?
I think our first album, Sundance, had put in the credits. It said any bootlegging or whatever of
Oh
this
yeah,
product.
it was on.
At this point is considered free promotion. So go ahead,
Yeah.
Like, just do it.
Hilarious, man.
Yeah, man, that free promotion. That's awesome.
We're gonna jump into this song right now. What's the name of the song with Chili
Body
Chill?
Rock, man.
Body,
Body
Rock.
Rock.
So we're
Yes,
gonna play
sir.
that right now, right here. Speak Life Radio, unreleased track.
Unreleased, first time, man. Do it. Yeah.
Or we could play.
It's
silence.
like YouTube when you're trying to show somebody something, and well,
it's like I promise this is cool.
I promise.
Don't worry, it's coming, y'all. I'm
Here we
watching
go.
it.
Photos. Why you sliding in your low lows? When they say I'm on my flesh, yeah, it's dead, homie. You reppin' for the kingdom, yeah, go ahead, homie. Good boy, bad boy, good. Confess Jesus Christ in your life, and I'm talking to all hoods. I can't give no explanation on my behavior, except Yahweh first, and I bang my savior. They got us in the cage like Nicholas. That's why I ball, I no regrets, man, ridiculous. When me and Soup hit the scene, no green screen, that's real talk. Living life for Christ, homie, that's a real walk. Praising when I'm posted on the block, see walk in the alleyways. Watch for cops on the Cali day. Put down the beast, loco killing. Gospel gangsta got the music, make the homies feel it was good. Campaign in every hood in the field. I don't need a blicky, cause God is my shield. I don't need to get high, man, from popping pills. Remember when you escape death, God's real. Soon as I speak his name, the devil gaffled. He say what chili go near, I leave him baffled. Get ready for the takeover, yeah, the wait's over. Lou Lang on the beach streets, it ain't over. We bout to flow like titanium, get it? I never leave Jesus Christ, put it in your cranium, Lord. The Holy Spirit make your body rock. Gospel gangsters make your body rock. Soup the Chemist make your body rock. Body rock, body rock. Lil Wayne on the beat and make your body rock. Straight to the top and make your body rock. bop, bop, a body rock. Holy Spirit to make your body rock.
I'm a lyricist expressing myself the best I can. This ain't just soup and chill up on a jam, but more like memories that's being made with fam. We've been killing tracks way before the gram. You can search Wikipedia if the need be. I'm the B-boy, he's the gangsta MC. When we come together, it's hypnotic hoodology. Out here navigating through Christian theology. Some get mad, all for no apologies. Just lines with angles and points, that's geometry. You cats is William O'Neill to me, claiming you down with a sound that's creating mystery. So I stay clear like Crystal B and continue to light the mic up like a Christmas tree. So how's that for some philosophy on this spiritual odyssey I'm creating constantly, offering you joy and mental agility. So if you're into growth, then you should be feeling me. If not, then I know the way that I create is annoying like a knife when it's scraping a plate. Soup the Chemist on the front line with Camp 8. If you into soul music, grab you a plate. If you're thankful when the spirit relates, then turn it up and celebrate. Yeah, baby.
The Holy Spirit make your body rock. Gospel gangsters make your body rock. Soup the Chemist make your body rock. Body rock, bop, bop, a body rock. Lil Wayne on the beat and make your body rock. Right to the top and make your body rock. Bop, bop, a body rock. Holy Spirit to make your body rock.
Y'all think I'm crazy, y'all tryna play me, save me. Sure as the rag blue paisley. Days we had to take trips through AZ. Back when I had the twin baby through the 80s. Gone off phase. Probably think I'm angry. Told her I'm a righteous. Pray for me daily. It's all about survival, so now I got my Bible on the dresser right next to where the cave is. Now pray for me.
The Holy Spirit make your body rock. Gospel gangsters make your body rock. Soup the Chemist make your body rock. Body rock, bop, bop, a body rock. Lil Wayne on the beat and make your body rock. Right to the top and make your body rock. Bop, bop, a body rock. Holy Spirit to make your body rock. The Holy Spirit make your body rock. Gospel gangsters make your body rock. Soup the Chemist make your body rock. Body rock, bop, bop, a body rock. Lil Wayne on the beat and make your body rock. Right to the top and make your body rock. Bop, bop, a body rock. Holy Spirit to make your body rock.
And that is Body Rock.
Body
Super
Rock.
Chemist, Gospel Gangsters. That's dope. And you could tell like his verse was, you know, like
Yeah, they had to bring it.
it wasn't like, you know,
Right.
mixed and mastered, anything like that. But that's a really dope track right there. And actually, for the journalist, he talked about lighting the mic up like a Christmas tree. So he's talking about his electrical skills.
Right? There's an electrical
Right
drop.
there, right for you.
Right there, homie.
There it is.
I love it.
Hilarious.
That's a dope track, man. When's that
Yeah.
actually, when you guys actually releasing that?
Man, I don't know, homie. I just jumped on it.
Okay.
And I told Chill, hey man, can I put it on Quan? He went, oh my God, Quan, yeah.
You didn't ask him. He didn't ask him.
Yeah, I hit him up. He was like, drop it, homie.
Dope.
So I actually don't know what he's doing with it, but
Well, that needs
There it
to
is.
come out soon.
Exactly.
Somebody in the comments said that was a great summer jam. That really is like that beat that you just
that chorus.
roll
that
up
body
to.
rock,
And yeah. I like that a lot. I really do like that
verse
song.
with my shirt off, man. It was dope.
Hey, the part of the hook that I like the best is that body rock, a body rock. That part right there, that part of the hook makes
Makes
that
it
hook
stick.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sticks, man.
that's dope.
That's some
Just
chill
the little
stuff right
things,
there, man. Chilly chill.
Yeah,
Chili's dope.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
man.
Oh.
What's next for you? You just dropping some singles? Do you have a full
Yeah,
album
man.
coming up? What's
I am.
next?
I do have a full album coming up, but I'm hoping to have this audio book done by Christmas,
Okay.
and if so, then the full album will drop that in February of next year.
Now, recording an audio book, obviously you got the studio at home. Is that
It's the
how
hardest
long
thing
does
I
that
ever
take?
done, man.
I had somebody that
Hardest
wanted
thing
me to
I've
record an
ever
audio
done,
book.
homie.
He came in for 2 sessions, and it's like you're literally reading your whole entire book,
And you think
and you need to have like
and
some
you
type
think
of
'cause you wrote
enthusiasm. Yeah,
that you just can
yeah. You still have to read it.
You gotta read it, and
You
it's
still have
got
to read it
sound
and
good.
have
It's the hardest thing I've ever done, man. For real, straight up.
Well, recording an unabridged audio book word for word, because I've listened to novels, and what makes the best one is like if it's if I'm using a different person. So
Yeah.
And when Quan walked in, he was like, "Hey, guy," like the voice has to change and
Yeah,
everything
you have
else.
to change the whole inflection.
That's
and everything
interesting
with
that you said that because I literally had to start over like twice
Really?
because I didn't know what I was doing. On one time, the second time, my drives crashed.
Oh,
But
back everything up. You got Google Drive. You sent me the song on
exactly,
Google
homie.
Drive. Back everything
right?
up.
Good Google Drive,
Back
playing
up so
the
you're
time back. So, but what was dope though, because like we said earlier, everything happens for a reason. I didn't get mad. I just got fresher. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it sound even better than it was. And to piggyback what you were saying, I started implementing that. I said, you know what? What if I start making this like old school radio before TV? How they had the different dudes playing it out in the book to bring life to it, because everybody's just reading. What if I do that and then I put music and a little trippy? That's where it's at. Right?
Do you
So
think?
it's just when you get it, it's not gonna just be me reading.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all kind of elements in it, and
Sounds
I got
cool.
a bunch of tracks that
Yeah.
I've done that are never come out. You're only gonna get it. You're gonna hear it
Oh,
in
that's
there.
smart.
That's
so
dope.
it's just
That's smart. Yeah. Wow.
That's really good, actually.
So,
That's a good.
Well, because I listened, I had to study to understand what I was doing. So I started listening to a lot of audio books, and everybody's just doing the same thing. I'm like, oh man, let me try to be a little different and do something trippy. And the coldest one I've listened to that kind of was close to what I want to kind of do was Black Thought's book, his audio book, where he had the Roots rocking with him. He
That's
would
sick.
rap a little bit of it. And I was like, see, that's what I'm talking. That's the level I'm on.
When it comes to recording the audio stuff, this is the type of questions I always ask. So more of the technical side. When it comes to recording like the audio book, do you use the same mics that you use if you're recording like a verse? Do you use the same like compression and all the rest of this stuff? Like,
You want to, because you want it to sound consistent,
okay.
but you're always fighting elements at the same time, because the room could change the sound, spacing needs to be the same, so it's really hard, man. You're not gonna read 6 hours straight through, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So you got to come back to stuff. So I try to make mental notes of how far I was, blah blah blah, and then that's where a lot of redo comes. 'Cause, you're doing it and you hear. I kind of got a nasal tone vibe, and sometimes the weather will affect.
Time of day.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of elements, man, that you didn't expect.
Because when you're
to come
rapping,
into play.
you're
You've got
doing
your
something
rapping
different.
voice.
You're
you've got
doing
a
something
And you're
different.
in and out.
Yeah.
But when you're like reading one chapter, and
Yeah.
then 2 days later you come back for chapter 2, and you sound way different than it's like, man, what
Like,
was
who's
going
this
on?
guy?
Yeah, and then man, I made so many.
I went up the street.
And I made
amazing.
so many mistakes, man, because I just wanted to jump in there and record. And I made a bunch of mistakes that I wasted a bunch of time that if I would have just slowed down, tested, learned how to dial in this mic that I had, and blah, blah, because every mic is different.
Yep.
You can't just walk in the studio and get down on this mic like you got down on the last mic. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it was trial and error. And then I've also learned that not every mic complements your voice.
Yeah.
So then when I bought another mic, and it was like sounded way better than this other mic. I'm like, man, but I read that so good. Like, what am I gonna do? So I had to, if I'm gonna start over, I got to do everything on this new mic. It's just, and then frustration starts to set in, because you done did it so many times. It's like, is this ever gonna get done? If people really even care, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, just gotta stick it through though. It's the hardest thing I ever done, brother.
So the how much how much studying did you have to do? Because I know the recording, like voiceover.
Still studying.
Voiceover recording
But
is
It's
unbelievably
it's
different.
unbelievable. I'm locked in, but I'm still studying because it's, listening to certain things. Everybody got their own opinion on how to get this certain sound, right? So you just gotta find a sound. Once you hear it, like, man, I really like that, and that's what you roll with.
I've listened to voiceover recordings, not necessarily from audiobooks, because like the old school radio shows, like you said, like the sound experience it's a drama, but podcasters, they do the same thing, and it's all like so they put out stuff every week that sounds like the radio show type stuff, only they're telling stories,
right?
And I was listening to those, and I like how you were saying, going back to how like you're gonna put a bunch of unreleased stuff. They make scores for like podcasting and stuff like that, or like audiobooks, the same way you would a movie.
Right.
And the only reason why I know this is because I was listening to one. I was like, I could probably make something like that if I really tried, like just the background music.
Yeah.
And that's how I started listening. So that's why I was asking, like, when you study, is it just audiobooks that you're listening to, or is it like the whole thing? Like, are you listening to old radio shows to see how? Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. Like, that's dope.
Yeah. So,
I like it.
It's fun. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's fun, but it's fun.
How far are you in that?
Man, I got about right now. My total book is gonna be, once I'm done and edit, I've calculated that it's gonna be 6 hours long. I'm about 4.5 hours in.
Okay.
Oh man,
so you're close.
You're in it.
Close to the finish line.
Yeah,
How long have you
close.
been working on it, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, almost 2 years, bro.
2 years. So remember, like, especially if
And
you're
that's
putting-
because I'm not totally committed every single day.
Yeah, you're not doing it every
I
day.
walk away
Yeah.
from it because it just starts to.
Have to
When
take
you're
that
doing
break.
it all yourself, I mean, it's kind of hard, man, because
Yeah.
you're reading, you're stop, you edit. You know what I mean? And you want to do. I started off, like I said, all wrong, trying to edit, read everything all in one instead of just reading it. And it was just all, and then I was just doing. I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
But this is what it took to get to the level.
where you're
it's
And that
at.
wasn't a waste of time because you learned
yeah,
Correct.
it's
a
never
lot.
a waste
And
of
I
time.
never,
in that process,
I never
yeah.
really. If I would have had somebody just show me how to really do an audiobook, it would have been a lot faster. But
This question, this is just for me. After you're done recording, like the audiobook, do you get to the point where you're like, I'm done talking? Like, if somebody comes up to me and like, hey, Soup, so how's it going? Or
Yeah.
like, no, like I'm not. I've talked.
Not
I've
answer the
spoken
phone,
for the
not
last
talking to
4
anybody.
hours.
I
I'm not
text
talking
like
at
you're
all.
right there, and I just text you. I'm good, homie.
Like, seriously, like, because I feel like if it were me, is like I spent all day. I spent 6 hours today talking.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
I'm not talking to anybody.
I'll tell
no
you
more.
what it does. Yes and no, but what I have noticed is why it takes me. I get really burnt, and I don't want to get on the mic because it's like, I just talked for like 5 hours trying to get this 2 chapters right.
Yeah.
And I gotta wake up tomorrow and do this again. Nah, man, I need a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that couple of days turns into a week.
Couple weeks.
Then you gotta,
Then
yeah. So
10
that-
years.
That's what I mean by not the reason I
took a decade off. Took a
Another
decade
10-year
off.
break.
So the only reason that book hasn't came out yet because I haven't been totally
Committed. Gotcha.
Well, let's get Soup committed.
Yeah, man.
But I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think a lot of people would jump on that. They need to hear it. They need to hear those stories, and just the struggle too. You know, like it was a struggle. It wasn't
Yeah.
like we said. Now you can just
It's
record
accepted.
something, put it out. You could send them a email that this is who I am, a whole EPK in an
Yeah,
email.
it's a trip where we're at right
It's
now.
a totally
Like
different
this whole-
world
yeah,
back then.
it's a trip. And you know, among the hip hoppers, man, there's so many people that got my book, and I'm like, yeah, I wrote that in that chapter. What chapter is that? They never even. They just
didn't
supported
read
it. They didn't
They
read
didn't
it,
read
man. It's like, and then they skipped over it. They read what they wanted to read.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of controversial stuff in there. And
Dare
I've
I ask?
never got challenged on none of it or even asked about it. Everything is always about, oh, I remember this when you were in tour and you came to RZ. That's so people ain't really, to me, they're not really reading it.
Well, when that audio book comes out,
Exactly.
we're getting you back on the show. So you're gonna have to come back to Vegas. I know that hurts your feelings.
Yes.
But we'll get you back on the show and just do an interview straight about the book.
That's what's up, homie.
So those challenging things, we'll ask you.
Now. I'm like,
He'll read the whole thing on the
I'll
show.
read the whole thing on
6
the show.
hours straight, 6-hour show. I think that if anything, that is a reason that's kind of like a grab you for anybody to get the book and or read the book. How you said there's controversial stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the audience, so like the people that consume, the consumers as well as the creators, we always think, oh, because it's Christian or because it's faith-based, everything worked out and everybody was cool.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to the music industry, it's never.
I poured it all out, man.
Hey.
I talked about
Yeah.
problems me and the crew had, to the mistakes I had, and the mistake that, like I said, I'm real big on everything happens for a reason. And a lot of things we do, we try to blame the devil or other, but it's like, no, man, I did this.
That's
was
you,
you.
bro.
That's
That's
me.
you, bro.
So yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah.
And there was a reason that this happened. Now, either I'm going to wake up or continue to go down that path and maybe even go deeper into my wrongness and my sin or whatever it is. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to why, understand why, and fix it, or you'll never get out of it. Like from anything. God gave us everything. We can look and everything is learnable, man. And you need to pay attention to it. There's reasons why he said certain things. And when you don't obey that, this is what happens.
What happens? Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can say what you want to say,
Yeah.
but this is what happens. And either you're going to understand it or you're going to get deeper into it and you're going to cover it up and justify this situation to fit your lifestyle and what you want to do. Now you're even a whole nother picture.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to stir the pot of gossip because it's not gossip. But I will say this: there was some stuff, and I'm talking to everybody that's watching or listening. There was some stuff that we were talking about off camera that I never knew about, and if it's stuff like that that's in the book, this is the type of stuff I think that we should know so that we can learn from it.
right.
And especially so that we can take the blinders off that like the Christian industry is all sunshine and rainbows, because it's not.
Well, and then we can't face those issues in the Christian industry too and talk about it. Like if we could talk about what's going on in mainstream media, we should be able to talk about what's going on in
That's me,
Christian stuff too.
To me, that's the problem with certain movements of Christianity, because it's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's a business, I can't tell you certain things. And I actually have a chapter called the Bible Professional. And that's what it's talking about. I am a professional Bible man. So now, since this is my profession, I can't be honest with you. I have to be professional. Keep you here. Keep you supporting. Keep you moving with what I'm doing.
That's deep.
This is the biggest reason to have you back, because I feel like this is the type of stuff that I feel like the radio show needs to dig into. Not just, hey, we can review music, and hey, we might say something and like hurt somebody's feelings if we give you a bad review on a song, but like ultimately it's about the walk.
Correct.
Ultimately.
Yes.
Otherwise, what are you making the music for?
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff that needs to be brought to light. And I feel like that anybody watching or listening, I think they would love to hear that.
Right.
If they're really real about making the music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's like what we need is everybody to go hit up, like find his email address, go to his Bandcamp page and hit him up and be like, yeah, when are you coming back out to do the second part of the show? Or so that we could talk about this, or do your homework, read the book. I can't wait so we could talk about it. I'll ask questions.
Yeah, and there's
in,
that
whatever,
fine line
whatever.
between music and the music business and the ministry part of everything we do.
Everything we do. man.
Even me with the studio, I had to break that stigma of only record Christians.
Yeah.
Christians did some of the worst business with me.
Right.
Speak on it.
So
I mean,
like
yeah.
opening up a podcast studio, it's like I can't just
No,
do
I hear
Christian
you, man.
podcasts, you know?
I got more respect from the mainstream than I did. Majority of my dope gigs and all that stuff were mainstream gigs, man. I'm a gospel
and guess
artist.
what? You can be a
rocking with all these
Christian
mainstream dudes.
You can be a
Yeah.
Christian in those areas, and honestly, that's kind of where God put you
that's where you
anyways.
wanna
That's
go,
where you
yeah.
need to be.
I mean, so
Soup to
I'm
Seamist.
with you. I'm hear you on
Soup
that.
to Seamist.
Soup to Seamist,
You
man.
did- who was it that you did? You said you did
was
a
the
show
Loop
with the Loop Pack,
The
right?
Loop Pack. I was sharing the stage with the Loop Pack. Yeah.
That's to me, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like that is dope.
Even in the book, like I mean, it's kind of well known if you followed my career, but in the book I talked about one of the highlights of my career was this show we were doing in San Bernardino, opening up for KRS-One, and the promoter cut out. KRS wasn't going to get paid, so he was backstage, kind of hotter than fish grease about the situation, and we were about to go on stage. So I wanted to meet him. So I'm like, hey man, sorry for this situation, but I wanted to meet you, man. I'm Soup the Chemist, SFC, blah. We're about to get on the stage and do our thing. So that was, quick and thing. We jumped out there and rocked our gig, and it wasn't really packed because this promoter it was just messed up gig, but it was a gig, right? And I've always been a dude. I don't care if it's 50 or 1,000 people, you're gonna get the business, right? Lock it out and do it. And we were killing the stage. And I looked over there to my right, and on this one of these songs we kind of all jump, KRS-One's on the side of the stage jumping with it.
That's dope, dude.
And then
Come
he said,
on.
and then after our set, I walk off the stage and he's backstage, and he's telling his brother, man, hook up the stuff, man. This dude's got me hyped. And he rocked the whole concert. Dude, like it was sold out. Dude did a whole hour. Killed it.
And
like,
if you didn't have that attitude to do that, he may have never went up on stage that night.
No, man. All I know is when I say that,
That's
I'm like, I made him get on that stage. That's what I say.
my head cannon makes it sound good.
I'm saying we made him get on that stage because what else? Why would he do it?
Man.
And the crowd was there, and but respect to that dude.
But
What
he didn't
kind
need
of
to, because
artist-
I've been
he
in
didn't need to
shows
do
where
that. He
the
would be
promoter
out.
did not pay and that artist does not go on stage or even
go on.
show up
He didn't
to the venue or the
and
city
this dude
because they
was
didn't get paid.
MIA. He might have got beat down showing up that day, man.
Especially back then.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
and so that's one of the highlights. Because at that time I was at a low too, because I was rocking a lot of Christian gigs and doing a lot of stuff, and
It was lacking.
they just be looking at you like. And I mean, we got all these elements. I got the DJ. They just didn't understand what we were doing. They didn't understand the DJ.
culture, yeah.
They didn't understand none of this. So when I get in front of a crowd like that, and one of the coldest performers ever get that hype, let me know, man, we doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. That's dope.
So
Man.
Let that be inspiring, man.
word
sure.
up, word up.
For sure, man. Live with Soup the Chemist right here in the studio,
Yes,
man,
man.
on Gorilla Cross. We appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thank you for having
Definitely
me, man.
appreciate you coming through once again.
Yeah.
And we need to do it more often. So definitely when
Yes,
that
sir.
book comes out, we'll dig into it. We'll actually listen to it and read it first
Yes.
again, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So we know what we're talking about. I hate when people get somebody on like, tell us
worry.
about yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us about the book. Tell us
Yeah,
about the
man.
album. It's like, nah, bro. Ask them questions that you had about what you were supposed to.
And I love that, man. I
research
love
and
dialogue.
listen.
I love answering, explaining myself. I love it.
You
Yeah.
know me, I'll like you just from this interview, like I will ask the question. I'll ask all the questions.
Bring it,
Like
man.
I like to
I
talk.
love the dialogue.
Might be one-on-one, you and Joe Seif in the new set.
Right. I
And what you guys have not seen is the new set yet,
The new
and we're not
set's
going to
dope.
show it to you, but
Man,
we
and
will
it's
be.
super dope. I'm sitting up in here, man, like, yo,
It's dope.
Gorilla Cross is killing things right now.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely
feel like
appreciate
taking
it.
my shirt off, man.
That's a lot of shirt taking off you.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is, man.
It's Vegas, man.
But one more time, man, let everyone know where they can follow you and get your music.
Man, Soup the Chemist across the board, man. You put in Soup the Chemist, all my stuff comes up. And they're even fixing that, what's that new chat stuff that
Chat GBT.
Yeah, some dudes hit me
GBT.
the other day saying, yo, man, the information was crazy that came up on this chat. Your name ain't even Chris Cooper on there, homie. It's like, but it's getting all that. So across the board, Soup the Chemist, put it in there, man. Support the grind. I'm totally independent. And like you guys are saying, man, I enjoy answering questions. I interact with everybody. I'm constantly on social media, like answering questions, talking to people. And that's what I do, man, because this is my job. I don't have a promotional team,
Yeah.
no nothing. That's what I do.
It's good, and we live in a world of independent artists, man. So you're definitely doing the right thing.
Word.
Definitely appreciate you coming through. I know we talked about doing music reviews, but we got way too much meat in this show, and the show is over. So, listen, we will be back on June 6th, 7 p.m. every Tuesday, 7 p.m. starting June 6th. We will be back here live, doing live music and video reviews, having more artists on the show via Skype or via live in the studio. If you guys want to be on the show, hit us up. If you have something to really talk about, we will do that. Music at speakliferadio.com is where you can hit us up for that information. Or when you want to submit your tracks to the show, do that there as well. So sorry, I know we had about 4 people submit music because, we promoted it late anyway. So we will get to that on June 6th. So make sure you guys resubmit on June 6th. But man, appreciate it once again.
Yes, sir.
Follow Soup,
Thank
get
you,
his
guys.
music. Joe Seif, good having you back in the studio, man.
Joe Seif,
Ready to do
my
this
man.
again for season 17. This is our 17th season of Speak
Man,
Live Radio.
we're old.
Get it.
We've been doing it for a long time.
We're
We
old.
might have took a 2-year break in between that, but Soup took 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you could take
There it
those
is.
breaks. Take a break. It's okay to slow down, to not be on social media every day, even though the algorithm tells you to be on every day. Take a break. Make sure your mental and physical health is correct before you start to do anything else. You're more important than your fan base when it comes down to am I gonna take my time to have to be in front of my fans or in front of my social media. Make sure you're taking care of yourself first, because you can't take care of anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
So with that being said, we are outro Speak Life
Peace,
Radio.
y'all.
We appreciate everyone once again. The beats are from Terra Firma Sundance. Appreciate you. Peace. We're out.